Are you ready for the ride of your life?
So this week's actually going to be a streamy week. I'm going to try and beat as much of this game as I can tonight, because it's a lot shorter than the original.
Computer Entertainment Europe.
Oh yeah, this is the by the way. Yeah, the US version wasn't released very widely. Actually kind of hard to find. So. This game is why. Alright, so let's get started. Yeah, everyone prefers Spike. He's the OG. I kind of wish you could play him in the third game, but I don't mind Kay. Kay and me are cool characters. So yeah, so the trick is, you beat the game at least once, but you have to hit all 300 monkeys in that first playthrough. Return to Monk 2, hell yeah, that's good. And then, when you play the game any additional time, you hold L1, and I believe you press start. Press start. I think that did it. Oops. Oh, new game. And that should load the game as Spike. Yep, there you go. We start being a Spike. So we can play our whole playthrough with him. Yeah, I tweaked the settings a little bit.
Let's do it.
I think the audio level's not in the game, admittedly. The YouTube version that I recorded actually wasn't bad. But for some reason the stream made it like really low. I'm not sure if the volume control was the same, but hopefully it sounds better this time around. Oh yeah, well this is Ape Escape 2, dude. Ape Escape 3 looks amazing. It looks so good. But Ape Escape 2 didn't look bad. It was actually a pretty good looking game. It had a budget. I still kind of like the low polyness of Ape Escape 1, but I think, what was it? It was Ape Escape 1, then this came out, and then they had Pumped and Primed, which was like cell shaded, and they made like 3 or 4 games that were cell shaded. And at that point it was pretty much the standard form to kind of keep it cell shaded, but they kind of did this weird like fusion of cell shading and this sort of raw poly look in Ape Escape 3, and it looks really good. So I kind of wish that they made another game like that, but yeah, in today's age it would probably look completely different. Different engine and everything. Yeah, I mean everyone played the OJ. So, like Spike's got this goofy ass run. Like he's like sliding on the back of his pants the whole time. Now I do not speedrun this game. I know people who do actually, but I'm not very familiar with like the fastest routes or the secrets that this game has in that sense. So while I can get through the stages pretty rapidly, I can't promise anything in terms of like you know, cool tricks and stuff. I just want to catch some monkeys. I don't know, man. His second jump was like an inch above the ground, higher. But the Sky Flyer in this game is like even more broken than it was in the previous one. It goes like straight to the top of the stage. It's so stupid. And then you got the time station instead is now like a living room because you're kind of in like the professor's house. The trade-off for playing a Spike is you don't actually play the story cutscenes. And frankly, the Ape Escape 2 story is really stupid. I don't think we need to. The main plot is just catch some monkeys. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna catch some monkeys. Right? Like just holding it in the whole time, just... I do love the stage design in this game, though. The music is also not done by Suichi, which is kind of a loss, but there's some decent tracks in here, you know? And they got them back for every game after that, so... Yeah, like, music isn't bad in this game. It's just not, you know, that solid Suichi jungle beat that we love. And of course, this game suffers from, like, overactive PS2 camera, so you gotta keep resetting it. Thought you were in there. Oh, where'd you go? I also love, like, the attention to the animations. Because if you remember in the first game, he only had, like, maybe 2 swing animations, but now he, like, swings it in all these different angles, and, you know, the monkeys dodge in a different way, jump and dodge, and all sorts of, like, weird dive kind of mechanics and stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't either, you know? I think this game really aged well. Granted, this is playing on a PS4. I believe it was on the PS3. So there is a widescreen version, but even at full screen, this game looked really good. This isn't much different from how it looked on PS2. It ages very well. Like, this isn't like a remaster, you know? It's just a port. Oh yeah, the monkey names get stupider every game. They're pretty stupid in the last one. Like I said in the last stream, when we finish the games, we're gonna go through all 3 and read all the glossaries and all the different monkeys. Like, they're stupid. We're gonna have like a bonus episode. We'll show every monkey that we caught, and we're gonna play all the mini games in every game. So, speaking of mini games, tomorrow, me and the Westfall boys are gonna be talking about the Nintendo Direct and streaming a bit of that. And then we're gonna do our first episode of Puzzle Palace. That's gonna be about 5:30, 6 o'clock EST. So if you want to tune in for that, that should be fun. We have a lot of games planned for Puzzle Palace this time around. Should be really fun. I'm not particularly looking like forward to any specific game, other than maybe like the Smash announcement. But I mean, there's some stuff coming that I'm interested in, and if we get No More Heroes stuff, obviously I'm hyped for that. I'm not expecting it. Yeah, COVID did kind of throw my schedule off, but we're getting back to normalcy. It's nice. It's nice to be able to, you know, not only see people and go out and feel comfortable outside again, but know that even like companies and production flow for entertainment is starting to return to normal. We went back to the movies for the first time. We went to see, what was it, Spiral, the Saw movie. It was pretty good, but just seeing that movie in a theater was nice. I don't know if it'd be the same feeling if I was just at home watching it like months later. I like the movies though, that's just me. Yeah. They kind of fused it with Summer Game Fest this year, so I'm a little off kilter when it comes to keeping up with certain announcements. I watched Square Presents. I watched the actual original night, like the kickoff night, where they showed Elden Ring, and then I saw a little bit of the PC one, but I haven't really watched anything else. Like, I don't know how the Capcom one went, even though I heard it was really boring. And I don't even know who else showed the showcase or anything yet. Hey. Oh, see. That's the one thing I didn't like about this game. They changed the mechanics for the water net. So, there you go. Yeah, going underwater is a little different. I forget how to do it. I don't know why they changed it. It was like perfect in Ape Escape 1. I feel like I don't know how to do it now because there's like coins down there. That's the net. Up. Ah, okay. That's right. You have to like aim with the right stick, which is very Ape Escape, but not very intuitive. Yeah, because you go in here. There we go. Lilo. Yeah, it's weird. Like, the game looks better, clearly. And it actually does handle better. Like, it seems like he's walking all over the place, but pretty in control of what he's doing. It's a little slippery at best. Well, I don't blame you, RJ. Ape Escape 3 is probably one of the best. I love Ape Escape 1, but that's a nostalgia thing. If I had to line all the games up and just on like pure objective quality, Ape Escape 3 no doubt beats all of them. It's easily the best one. But, you know, Ape Escape 1 is dear to my heart. Actually, I like Ape Escape 3 a lot because it does a lot of stuff like Ape Escape 1 did. Kind of returns to form a little bit. So. Alright. I can't open that box yet, but I know there's a monkey in there. I just heard another monkey. Is he up here? Yeah, so this game is like kind of slippery. Oh, I think there he is over there. I can't get him yet, can I? But it's not so bad that it like you can't control yourself. Like comparing it to Ape Escape 1, Ape Escape 1 might be a little easier to control. I'm not sure. This one's just it looks worse than it is, but comparing the two, it might be a little bit wonkier. What's this thing? Oh. I hit it, I thought it stayed open. My bad. This is also the game that like where the enemies got really weird too. The gacha coins had this cool system where like you get 5 and then they all count towards 5 and you get 5 more and they all start counting towards 10. But the enemy types were weird, man. They went from like the weird goofy alien robot things they were before to like pineapple parrots and just weird shit. They're mostly robots in like the later stages, but I thought there was something else over here. Yeah, that's wrong. Hey, look, I need. Oh, I need 2 more. Okay. Let's get out of here. They get worse, dude. And honestly, this stage is pretty confusing because there's a whole other part of it. But I forget where to get there. Ah, there's one. But I'd say like the first few stages of this game are actually pretty boring and bland. Like visually, the stages look good, but by the time you get to like the third world, no comparison. Those stages are really cool. I think they were just like creatively corrupt for a few of them. And at that point they were just trying to figure out like what kind of stage should we throw in here to extend the game. And they throw all the boring ones in the front. Alright, I'm gonna try and get this monkey. Because I don't remember where the others are. Can I do this? Nice. Alright. Dude, I've been telling you to play new games for like 15 years. All you play is Banjo-Kazooie and Castlevania and Darkstalkers. Though I will say, hearing you play Toho today was interesting. But then I remember that was specifically the Castlevania one. And I was like, oh yeah, of course it was. I'll give you credit. You don't play bad games. Well, Banjo's questionable. It's on the line. But overall, you have decent taste. But you gotta expand your horizons, you know? That was another thing about this game. They like rapidly increase the amount of monkeys you need to catch, like ridiculously high. Like it's only stage 3, and I'm already catching like 9 monkeys. Yeah, you should feel bad. And you see that, like, that's the thing, right there. With the previous game, and I believe they do this in 3 too, I'll have to check when we get there, that dynamic soundtrack came from the layering of Soichi's music, right? Yeah, you do. You do. We'll talk about that later. But like in this game, like they try to do the dynamic thing, but they cheat because the music isn't layered the same way. So it's like, here, we'll just tone down the sound a little bit. You know, listen to it. Like, it's just a volume thing. They don't actually do anything cool, like dynamically changing the song or changing the layers, like taking out the drums, taking out the melody, taking out like the various parts of the orchestration. Yeah, they're just it was kind of lazily done. I don't know if it was just the incompetence of the team that worked on this game or if it was a genuine choice by the composer, but I know Soichi was available and wanted to work on this project originally, and they just didn't call him. Oh, you better. You better. I'm gonna be real mad if you don't. It's a big one this year. We're gonna make a big deal out of it. We've been getting bigger every year with these Halloween parties, but this one is like, to make up for last year, we have a lot of ideas stocked up. It's gonna be big, so I really hope you can come. It's gonna be good. Yeah, we've got a lot of fun in store for everybody that joins us. And the team system worked out so well last time. We're gonna try and incorporate that again. But we're gonna kind of do a two-way of teams and individual scoring. So yeah, it'll be a blast. Oh, this is the dash shoot, right? Yeah, I can't do that yet. I could sneak up on him, but I don't want to. Maybe I will. I have to skip on him. He's he runs around the whole track. I can't fake him out. Alright, let's see what I can do. Oh yeah. I forget hard mode gives you all the gadgets out the game. So I'll play this game right. I'll use the gadgets when I need them. I don't see any reason you couldn't. Because me and Steve and Kelly have been talking about it a bit this year. We actually have plans for you, and you know, the Fiend concept and all sorts of things that came from the last parties carrying over. So I'm wondering if that would work. I'm sure there's room for it. Alright. Cool. Yeah. No. Get me up there. I will say I like the dash hoop in this game a little more. Because it can be perpetual, you spun, and you can just ride it forever. You know, it doesn't have that time limit thing that the old ones had. And this carries over in Ape Escape 3 too, which I like. Is he blue? I can't tell. Or is he black? Black. Why am I not? Oh my god. The tracking on that one was terrible. I'm playing right off the PS4. Yeah, it's the technically it's the PS Now emulator, but for this game specifically, I'm not sure if there's any others, but this one, it was originally on the PS3, and when they carried those games from PS3 to PS4, this one actually got its own isolated release. So this one's actually playing on the built-in emulator in the PS4. Yeah, it's not off of the streaming system the PS Now has. It's its own individual game, like downloaded and everything. Alright, dash shoot for that. Yeah, I actually don't have this game emulated. Or like a ROM or anything for it. I do have one for Ape Escape, for the original Japanese version of it. But honestly, it's not that different from the English one, so I don't play it much. I just stick to the original copy, because the PS1 version is the best version to play in terms of speedrunning and just in general, like working mechanically. Alright, cool. How to get that box up there. Ah, shoot. I don't know, I was standing there. I really do. I mean, again, like I just said, the first version of the game, like that was released on PlayStation, still holds up very well in terms of how it plays and everything, as you guys saw. But there's something about the game, just on a historical level, where I think people, even today, would really enjoy it. But also just, I feel like it has to be remade for the sake of integrity, you know? They had this remade version of it in 2007 or 9 or something. It was on PSP, called Ape Escape on the Loose. And it was... for what it did right, it definitely went in the wrong direction. Visually, it was not necessarily a step down, but unlike this game and the future ones, it kind of made everything look too kiddie. Like, instead of making the characters more, you know, graphically rich, it opted to make them like more chibi and like round. And I don't think that was ideal for this game, since the game already has these like no-nose chibi looking characters. It made it look a little too weird. Everybody looked a little chunky and kind of goofy. But on top of that, the game also just recasted the entire voice cast and didn't really play that well. Also, the PSP only had one stick, so it was really hard to play. It just wasn't a fun game in comparison to the original. Ah, shoot. That said, though, I will give them credit, because not only did they use their original soundtrack, like the original PS1 version on Ape Escape on Loose, but they actually also included the original, like, mock tracks that he used, that he released as its own album. So that game actually had a lot of good music in it. More so than the first one, even. So I can't knock it for that. There we go. Alright. All that for a tomato bird. And a monkey in a box. Alright, 2 more. Right? Okay, now you're just playing to my, like, to my heart here, man, saying that. I mean, I knew we had similar days, but yeah, I mean, you want to talk, like, primo soundtracks on the PS1, it's literally, like, stacking them up from, like, my own personal, like, influence and music and love for it, it literally is, like, Einhander, Ape Escape, Chrono Cross, Tekken 3. Like, in that order, perfectly. So, for you to say that, like, second and third would be Ape Escape, next to, like, Einhander and Chrono Cross, like, we are like of mind here. Also, hi, Corey. I saw you. You know, I do not blame you for loving those games and loving their soundtracks. They're, like, the best shmup, the best, like, non-Final Fantasy RPG of its time, in that, like, era of 3D polygon RPGs. And then Ape Escape literally, like, invented the dual stick system. So yeah, no comparison. Those games are phenomenal, all 3. Actually, I'm hoping... You know, it was in Japan. Einhander actually was re-released multiple times in Japan, and you can actually get the Japanese version of it on the Vita. So it's very much appreciated over there, but it never got a re-release over here. Yeah, the only way to play it is on the original disc. I actually have the original version. It was one of the first things I ever got. My dad loved it, and my brother also loved it a lot. Yeah, I mean, we still got the manual and the case and everything. That should be a game I stream at some point. Definitely gonna stream that, and probably Chrono Cross too. Chrono Cross can take forever, but I'm willing to put it up there for a shot. Yeah. I probably have to finish Parasite Eve first. Yeah, I don't know if I can commit to that without finishing Parasite Eve. Alright. I think there's a Gladiator Gundam or something in here. Yeah, is this the Coliseum? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a monkey and a Gundam, which they kind of got obsessed off after, like, the first couple stages. with the last few stages of the last game. They like started making just constant monkeys and Gundams. That was a weird kind of glitch slide there. Oh no, it's like a bull, right? Yeah. I could fight him. There's a monkey inside, but I think I only need one more. I'll come back. I'm gonna have to come back for the other monkey anyway. I'll catch this guy for now. Yeah, and I think they're the base problem. You know, every other Ape Escape game was published by Sony. You know, the same team that publishes Metal Gear. But for some reason, yeah, they were like, well, give this one to Ubisoft. And here we are now. You know, okay soundtrack by not Soichi Terada. Controls that are not terrible, but clunky. I will say though, the Freaky Monkey 5, they're not bad. These bosses are pretty fun. Blue Monkey. The first time I played this game though, I had no idea what I was doing. 'Cause these bosses are tricky. Like this game is actually kind of hard. Shoot. There you go.
Let's go.
Oh. Whew, good save. Back here. Cheap shot. Oh, shoot. Not easy. I don't have any game for Assassin's Creed. I love the first two. The first one's great. Second one's decent. I'm a big fan of the third one. Brotherhood and Revelations were like solid. But after that... I think... Oh, I did like most of them. Syndicate's probably the only one I really got into after the main ones. Oh, shoot. One more should do it. I think he's about done. Not yet. He's getting close though. Yeah, he's ramped now. Got him. Yeah, I didn't play it on Hollow. That's the newest one, right? Or... Yes, the Viking one, right? I haven't played it. But it looks cool. I love Viking stuff. Norse mythology is like my zhuzh. But I also really like Egyptian stuff, and Origins was, so I guess maybe my hype was kind of killed by then. I like the Splinter Cell games though. Chaos Theory is amazing. I think I still have my copy over there, like my PC version. That was like the one PC game I played consistently only on PC. Oh, see. Ape Escape 1 had one like spooky stage, and it was in the final stage, you know, the haunted house that we went into. But this kind of like emulates that, and I love that this game and the next one have like these like cool ass spooky like Halloween stages because they're so fucking cool. The second one, the one in Ape Escape 3, has like one of my favorite songs in Ape Escape and all Ape Escape. But this one is pretty fun. It's pretty cool. Goofy song, but it's a cool stage.
All set.
Oh, I didn't even know it was out on the GameCube. Huh, that's interesting. Not really surprised. GameCube had like everything, but I had no idea it was on GameCube. Yeah, like I said, I never played Splinter Cell on anything but PC. So.
Send 'em home.
That was back when I was technically still a PC gamer. Pretty much only go back to PC if that's the only way to play a game these days. I just like console gaming, I don't know. Look, there's a comfort to it, like a comfiness. Alright. White monkeys, which I'm going to start using. Now, look at this thing. You guys tell me that this thing looks even remotely as cool as like that dual spatula that I was using? Come on. No way. Anyway, just using this.
Send 'em home.
Because I don't want those guys realizing I'm there. I'm not trying to start a fight. His walk is really like dumpy. You're right. Alright.
Yep.
Okay. So much for that. Oop. There we go.
Yep.
I thought something was there. Like I said, I don't remember this game like as strongly as I do Ape Escape 1 and 3. Of the three of them, I played this the least. I think I only beat it like twice. And one of those times is pretty recently. Like that was last year? Last year or like 2 years ago. Before quarantine. Fine. Okay, I am not. There we go.
You're mine.
Please give me cookie. Nope. I only have two. Come on. Right. Thanks, fan. This like cannon reminds me of Mega Man Legends, when you're going around putting out fires in the first stage. Mega Man Legends 2, when you're on the ship and you burn the pizza. Another game I do plan to stream at some point. I actually have that on this bad boy right here. Where are you? This guy. This little guy right here is the PlayStation Vita TV. It's really cool. Basically, it's just a PlayStation Vita, but all you do is you basically take the card out of the Vita, plug it in the back here, and then it has a USB and an HDMI, and just a power button. So you press the power button, plug in the HDMI into your TV, and you plug in a USB and either a PS3 or 4 controller, and you can play it just like a PS2 or a PS3 or anything else. And it's just a Vita. So that's what I was streaming Parasite Eve on back when I did that playthrough. And when I played Dissidia, I played Dissidia on there as well. So when I do plan to play the rest of Parasite Eve, I'll be using that because I have all 3 games on there. And then I also would like at some point to play Mega Man Legends, maybe a few other games. I have a lot of Square stuff on there. So, oh, it's not only really easy to get, it's actually kind of cheap. It's surprising how little it sold. It's really popular, and they made a bunch of them, so it's not like it's hard to find or anything. I love my Vita, so having that on top of it basically converts my Vita almost into like a Switch, where like I can take my Vita on the go, play whatever, whatever, and then when I come home, plug it right in there, play it on my TV. It's literally the same thing. And then vice versa, of course, the Vita has remote play, so I can play my PlayStation 4, my PlayStation 3 on my Vita and walk around the house and use it, I forget what the price is, but they haven't shut down the actual store yet. So whatever price it is on the PlayStation Store on PS4, it's the same price on the Vita. So I wouldn't say they're any better though. I mean, having played both games in the past on PS1, they're like one for one. They control the same. You're still playing on full screen. They're literally one for one ports. It's not even a widescreen change or anything. But they play really well. It's a solid game on Vita. But yeah, I want to play that and Misadventures of Tron Bonne, which I also have on Vita. So at some point I want to play all 3 of those games. Like kind of how I'm doing with Ape Escape now. Do those 3. Then I'll do Parasite Eve as well. Finish that up. And those will be my 3 super long plays to start that out. Oh. I should have saw it today. Alright, cool. 3 more. It was like a, Count Monkula. I thought there was another night one. Yeah. Huh? I see like shiny ground like this, and I think I'm gonna slip. It's always like a sign of like super glossy slippery ground.
All done. Yeah.
That was the easiest catch yet for one called Chumpy. Oh, yeah.
Good.
I actually have seen a physical copy of that game. It was a few years back. I think it ran about like 80 bucks. It was wild. And that was like the re-release of the game. Who knows how the original goes? Yeah, the Gale Shaft, that's what it's called. Yeah. That game was fun though. I love Trombone. I love the concept of like, depending on the stage you go, the whole gameplay shifts. So it's actually six or seven games in one. I love that. $400? $400? Are you serious? The rarest PS1 game I've ever seen, like actually physically held, I think only goes for like 200 bucks. So like the fact that it goes for 400 is wild. I can't imagine. Most consoles aren't that much anymore. You know, not the new ones obviously, but like getting a retro console, that can cost you a lot, but not that much. Jeez.
You're mine.
Speaking of console prices, people have been talking about how valuable PS3s are going to be when they do shut down the store. Because they will at some point. We all know that. Yeah. They're testing the waters to see how you react to it just now. But someday they will do it. And I was going through that list and seeing how many games I own on mine. And like how many dollars I could get for it. Yeah, Burning Rangers. That's one of them. I need cookies, oh god. Turn this up a bit. I'm trying to like equalize the game audio here, because this stage is kind of loud. How's that? That should be fine. Yeah, I was looking through the PS3 list, and most of the games I have are actually the rare ones. Like was it Tekken Dark Resurrection, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which you cannot get anymore, at least that version of it, which is the ideal online version. Marvel vs. Capcom 1 I don't have, because I didn't get Origins, but I really wanted to. Thankfully I have the original copy, but I would have liked to have that on my PS3. But like the original version of Bayonetta, before they released it, because it wasn't, you know, it was a Sony PS1 game. The original version of Vanquish, Third Strike, what was it called? The HD remake. I don't remember what it's called, but it was basically Third Strike, with all the like Udon remixes and stuff that most people didn't love, but the actual gameplay was like really solid. It was the first Iron Galaxy game to actually use the rollback, and it was like perfect on console. So yeah, there's a few other things. Was it Hardcore Uprising, which was never re-released ever, and I love that game. It's like a hidden gem, hidden Arxis gem. Basically a Contra hardcore sequel, or like spiritual successor. I heard the monkey. Ah, there you are. A bunch of other stuff on there, yeah. Sayuri. Of course. Broken. Best character. Turbo HD Remix was re-released on either the Wii or the Switch, so that was not one of the ones on the list. Yeah, technically these are games, the ones I was listing, are ones that have never been re-released, are only on PS3, and were specifically only downloadable on PS3. There was no physical copy of them. So in order to even own the game, you have to have downloaded it at the time it was available. Because I don't know if you can even get them now on the PS3 store. See, there's another damn Gundam. They're all about it. Oh, I have to get in my Gundam. Huh. I forget how to pilot this thing. It's very different from the tank. But it's easier to pilot than the one in Ape Escape 3, I'll say that. I feel like it shouldn't be easy to pilot a mech though, so... Oh. Alright. I got you now, buddy. That's all of them. Right. Very similar, yeah. Yeah, Sayuri was my jam. I played everybody in that game. I didn't max everybody out, but I maxed out most of them. I played a lot of Crystal and Sayuri. When Sayuri came out, I like specifically played her. Pretty sure I played. Oh, you know what? That's a game we should stream sometime. Absolutely. That game's got pretty good co-op too. Yeah, I'm gonna add that to the list of things to stream down the line. That'll be fun. For sure. Yeah, Hardcore Uprising is a really fun game. Also, the loudest game I've ever played. John used to make fun of us all the time. Every time we'd go to that on the menu, on the PS3 menu, you just blast the speakers. It's so dumb. Oh yeah, that's where you make your money, right? You basically blow up all these boxes here and get like mad money out of them. Yeah. And if you do it in order, you won't lose. Yeah, you won't lose your coin bonus if you do it in the right amount of time. There's also like a robot that like steals your money. Like he hits you and steals all your coins. I think he's in this stage. Ooh, I ran out of cookies. Got 2 lives. I need more lives. Ooh. I've been so focused on the monkeys, I haven't like actually gotten coins. Yeah, when we get back to the time station, not the time station, whatever the room's called in this game, then we can get some more lives and stuff. Got him. One less machine gun to worry about. Two less machine guns to worry about. Oh, I love it. It's so good. Yeah, yeah, this little like mouse guy, he hits you, he steals all your money, but then you hit him and he like blows up into even more money. But you gotta catch him. Oh no! He got away. He didn't take that much out of me, but shoot. He'll be back. tell the monkeys down here. Yeah, you. Ah. I guess I should have let him hit me first, right? And then beat him up. Whoop. Alright, let's how we gonna do this? Ah, shoot. Funky monkey. Jessica. Alright. Where next? Oops. Shaft. And Jackson. You too, right? It's one of those things where, like, you experience something that's so good in the game, you just have to compare everything after that to it. Yeah, no, nothing, in my opinion, will ever beat the Persona 5 casino stage. Yeah, that palace was perfect. I compare, like, the Sly Cooper casino to it. I compare this, you know, Ape Escape's casinos, cause this and Ape Escape 3 have the casino stage. You know, Sonic Adventure, Casinopolis. Like, it's just, you can't compare. Nijima had the perfect palace, and it was just... They nailed the whole aesthetic for, like, what that whole experience was meant to be. One more. Oh, jeez. Fire breathing. Speaking of Persona, I still haven't beaten Scramble. I'm past Alice's. I'm like at the beginning of the next palace, but I haven't actually started it yet. Or I shouldn't call it palace, you know. The jail. Yeah, one of these days I'll get back to playing it. I haven't been gaming like I usually do, you know. Been a lot of crazy work weeks. One of the reasons I hope to finish this game, I probably won't finish it tonight, but in 2 sessions, just like the first one, is because next week I unfortunately have another blackout, just like last week, so I won't really have the time, or the energy for that matter, to be streaming or anything like that, so... Yeah, so we're at least gonna have no stream next week, but yeah, we do get this, and we have the Puzzle Palace tomorrow, so I hope that at least makes up for it. And I do have some stuff on the pipeline still being uploaded to the YouTube channel from past stuff. The Nier playthrough is still going up. There is Monster Hunter videos. Monster Hunter. I think there's one more Guilty Gear video. I could technically check right now if you really want to know. BlazBlue. No, that's not. Bloodborne, Code Vein, Dark Souls 3, the huge anthology episode, Gundam, yeah, Phantasy Star Online. There's a number. There's a good number of them. So, and those aren't going up like back to back or anything, but there's definitely going to be videos like weekly going up because most of those have been edited now and finally rendered out. What hasn't been, I'm probably going to render out this week and scheduled to come out, you know, periodically in between streams and stuff. Yeah, a lot of people like the Guilty Gear videos I was doing, so I want to get a couple more of those out. And obviously I have early access, so I've been playing a significant jump from the betas. They did a great job with it. That game's really good. So I want to do at least one more episode with the Lunchbox. Maybe a ranked episode, we'll see. Oh, there he is, up there. I'm like, where's this other monkey? Got him. Raymond. Hey. We caught the Raymond monkey. He has returned to Monk.
Very good.
Alright, let's get some lives.
That
I'm like
prize
dying
over
here.
there is the gotcha box.
I actually think Natalie's like UK voice is better than the other ones. I love all the cast in the original game, for better or for worse. But I will say, the person doing her voice in this game is probably better than the other cast thing they did. Ape Escape 3 and in Pumped and Primed, which maybe we'll play. I don't plan to, but after we finish 3, we'll see if I'm up for it. It's like a party game, so it has a full story, but it's, yeah, we'll see. It's actually a really fun game, though. But yeah, those games have pretty good voice acting, and the casting's solid. But Ape Escape 2, I don't know, they dropped it in so many places.
For 10 gold coins, you can get yourself a cool item.
I don't mind her voice. Everyone else just sounds kind of like squeaky.
The items that you win here can be viewed at the minigame corner. And
Alright. So this is something they kind of added in Ape Escape 2, where like you can cash in your coins and get items and stuff. Some of it's simple concept art and music things. Other things are like variants to your RC car, and then sometimes you get stuff like this, you know, cookies and lives and things you actually need. Ideally, I want a life or two. And you know, as you get more stuff, we'll read through all this stuff when we're going through the minigame bonuses. We're just here for monkeys right now, so. And no, there are no monkeys in this machine. That's a tough question. Obviously, yes, you should get Catherine. Scramble's pretty good. What's it called? Strikers in English? Yeah, it's a good game. It's a genuine sequel to Persona. Like, it's not just some like cash grab, whatever, you know, Dynasty Warriors type thing. It's a genuinely like it's a Persona 5 sequel. It feels it all the way through. Absolutely recommend it. It's really good. Like, 'cause I haven't gotten that far yet, but I've seen other people playing it, and it's definitely like fantastic game. Yeah. I've not played Fighters on stream. I've played it, and me and Sean, my director over in California, have considered streaming it in the future, but we haven't done it yet. So maybe down the line when we do some fighting game streams. Yeah, but not right now. I don't really play it like that. I love Access games, but that's one I haven't dived deep enough into yet. Yeah. I love Dragon Ball though, so what I have played is fun. Yeah, I'm not good at it either. Everything I know about that game I've carried over from Marvel 3 or Marvel 2. So yeah, I need to get more familiar with its own mechanics. I can't speak too much for Dragon Ball Fighters, but it's fun and it's a really good looking game. It's not a bad game to be good at. Tekken's amazing. But no, to answer your PSO2 or FF14 question, as someone who plays both, I have clocked in way more time in PSO, so it's uncomparable. It depends on your preference, really. First off, one's free and one's not. You know, so if you've got a paid subscription, there's perks that come with that. Obviously, like, you know, the user base is gonna be pretty welcoming. There's a certain level of quality that comes with that. And it's Final Fantasy and it's Square, so of course you're gaining that benefit. And these games have amazing stories. They're critically acclaimed. And people talk about like the ARR slog, but honestly, I think it's fine. Playing the game from the beginning to Shadowbringers, you'll enjoy it. It's good. You're getting your money's worth with FF14. It's definitely a good game. There's a lot to do in the game. I haven't even touched the surface. I mostly just play like story and basic stuff, and I'll like run roulettes and do like the casual. I'm on like the high end of casual, I guess you could say, right? I definitely play a lot of stuff in it, or I've played a lot of stuff in it, I should say, but I haven't necessarily gone so deep that it's like, you know, I'm in statics and rating and doing all that like WoW stuff. I don't play MMOs like that. I don't even stay consistent enough to play 14, you know, like that on sub. Frankly, if Mimi isn't subbed, I'm not playing usually. I'm usually just stealing her sub. So, even though, you know, I have my own account on there and everything. So, yeah, I don't know. I can say a lot. I can say a lot about it. It's a good game. But on the other hand, I am an old school, hardcore Phantasy Star Online fiend. That was my MMO back in the day. On the Dreamcast, on the GameCube, I was Team Phantasy Star Online all the way. So no questions asked. I know that game. And when PSO2 came out, I was in the closed beta and the open beta for it when it came out in Japan. I have an account on the new version that's out in the States, but I've barely played it. I've spent so much time playing the actual Japanese version over the years. Like, I can't speak to how much I love that game. And I'm going to show some of that off in the endgame episode that's going to come out when I put it online. But yeah, that game is everything I love about Phantasy Star Online is multiplied to 11 in Phantasy Star Online 2. It's so good. And it's free. It's a free game. There's no reason not to try it out and enjoy it. It's fantastic. The customization is really, really deep. I mean, it's a Sega game, so they have all sorts of collabs all the time. And it's also a 10-year-old game, so even though it's just recently come out in the States, there's so much content in the game already. You have tons to do, and there's a lot of people that play, so you can just jump right in and find a party, and it has like open fields and stuff, so even if you're in like a party of like 5 or 6 people, and you're traveling around, sometimes you run into another party another party of like 5 or 6 people, and you're just traveling together. So it's one of those games. It's really good. I have a lot of good things to say about PSO2. I have not played New Genesis yet, but because they're one and the same, the only reason I haven't played it yet is because I don't have PSO2 downloaded on my PS4 right now. I actually erased it to make room for other games. But when I get back into PSO2, I guarantee you I'm playing New Genesis, and from what I've seen, I'm probably going to enjoy it. So, yeah, no. Absolutely recommend PSO2. Cannot say enough good things about it, and because it's free, I wouldn't even compare it to FF14, because you just play it for that rate alone. It's so accessible. But if objectively you want me to compare the two in terms of quality, like graphically, and alright, how many lives do I have? I'll try one more time. I don't think I got any, but let's have cookies. Yeah, there we go. That's good enough for me. Yeah, in terms of pure objective quality, I will say that PSO does not keep up with Final Fantasy XIV, because the story, while decent, is much weaker, and it is more of a traditional, like, community-driven experience of MMO. You're playing it because your friends play it, and because you are trying to, like, grind and just have a good time. But it's not a fetch quest game. It's an action platformer through and through. It is 100% a good... No, not excuse plot. It's a genuinely good story. Like, I mean, the story in PSO 1 was really good, and PSO 2 has a really good story too. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say it's an excuse plot. No way. But it's definitely, like, not as deep, you know, like, unlike with 14, it's not the focus of the game. It's sort of a means to an end of, like, you know, why not have a good story if you're gonna write a story, because you have to have one, you know. And there's enough solo play stuff in the game that you kind of have to justify it. Dude. I'll help you out. Oh. I guess I just have to get him and the whole statue and everything. Whatever. Oh yeah, I need the RC car. Yeah, the game's good. PSO4? PSO4. PSO2? Absolutely a great game. Cannot sing its praises enough. But if you're looking for, like, that cured... like, it's that curated experience of, like, good story, character development, and, like, solid Final Fantasy experience. See, that's not entirely true. Yes, you're absolutely right. Final Fantasy has, again, a nearly 35-year history, and 14 does play off of a lot of that. And like, Phantasy Star has less. But I would argue that the direction of the story and why it's so good is because even though Phantasy Star has less story, Phantasy Star Online actually focuses a little more on the overarching lore of Phantasy Star as a whole. Yeah, Phantasy Star Online 2 actually kind of bridges a lot of the Phantasy Star games together. You know, not just universe and online and all that, but also, you know, the original RPGs and just, like, what Dark Falls is, and yeah, that whole storyline is pretty constant in PSO2, which can make it a little confusing and a little convoluted at times, which is why I say it's not as well written, but there's definitely good content there, especially for people who know Phantasy Star. Alternatively, Final Fantasy XIV is definitely like a Final Fantasy game, for sure, but it has a bit more of a classic Akihiko Yoshida style kind of vibe to it. The guy that does like Bravely Default and the tactics and like EVERY Game like art and stuff. And then Yoshi P is very deep in that, like in loving those games. And the writer for the EVERY series and all that is one of the writers on 14. So I would say that even though it does take from other parts of the overarching story or like the multiverse story of Final Fantasy, it primarily focuses on like that archetype and that like sort of aesthetic, which doesn't make it as broad, but keeps it more consistent. And there's a lot of just original stuff, and not completely original. I mean, Shadowbringers clearly has, this Warriors of Darkness traveling to, protect the dark from the light kind of vibe that you get in Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy 3. And then, Endwalker's got a lot of Final Fantasy 4 vibes. The original ARR has like, this journey to find the crystals thing, which is a classic Final Fantasy, 1, 2, 4, I'm sorry, not 4, 1, 2, 5, 6 kind of thing. I mean, it's hard to compare it truly, because even though it takes notes, all of them. I mean, you'd be surprised. We're talking Tactics Ogre, dude. Like, they go all the way in. If it's canon, which most of them are, they're willing to play with it. Yeah. But mostly it plays like Final Fantasy 12, War of the Lions, Tactics, that stuff. But it does go into like, again, Tactics Ogre, Vagrant Story as well. In fact, only recently has it gotten deeper into the Final Fantasy 12 stuff, because that's a direct relation. Damaska is an actual country in Final Fantasy 14. But yeah, I love that game's lore. It's really good. One of me and Mimi's favorite YouTubers. He's actually a PlayStation friend of mine too. Jake. He was a Final Fantasy peasant. I used to help him back before the project kind of got moot. With the Nervicia tournaments for Dissidia NT. He is like really deep in the lore right now, and when he started playing, I kind of got into it too. He's been playing forever, but I've been a bit more into it since he started playing. There's some really cool stuff going on there. So. Anyway, enough of that. That's all Final Fantasy jargon. Too long didn't read. If you want a good story that's definitely a Final Fantasy game, and you want to have like the MMO experience around it, to make it enjoyable, Final Fantasy XIV is your game. If you want just a free, easy to jump into, but complicated to master MMO experience that's very reminiscent of Phantasy Star Online, PSO2 is a fantastic game. Also, if you like hotbars and like cooldowns and global cooldowns and that whole MMO sort of archetype of like quest fetching and like spending time doing that, 14's probably a better game for you. PSO2 is straight up action, platforming, like fighting. It's a action oriented game. You're not getting the same experience out of it. But they're both RPGs, so there's long form to that. Yeah, that's really all I can say otherwise, you know. It's just so many good things in one SR and the other. I can't recommend them both enough. But if you want my opinion, I would say try maybe PSO2 first, since it's free. And if you want to give 14 a shot, well, technically, 14 has that free trial, right? Up to Heaven's Words, so you don't have to spend money on either of the games. It's really preference. It doesn't really matter. You can get them both. In fact, yeah, there's my answer. They're both free. You know, if you really enjoy 14, once you get past Heaven's Sword, pay for the rest, or pay for it before then. Absolutely fine. Absolutely think that's a great idea. PSO2 is 100% free all the way through, so there's no reason you shouldn't play both. Yeah, they're both great. 14's a bit more of a time investment, that's all. I think if you're gonna play that game, you gotta make the time to like commit to it. The only reason I can even play it is because of the weird ass hours I have. With work and everything, sometimes, you know, the only free time I have left in a day is to like kind of sit back and, if I can't go to sleep, maybe like, you know, play a video game or something, or draw, you know, or whatever. And if I don't want to draw, if I don't want to make music, that's a game I can play. Same with 14, same with PSO2 there. They're both time commitments. Oh, NT is still supported. Yeah, no one stopped supporting Dissidia NT. It's just that the arcade version of the game is not going to be updated anymore. And unfortunately it didn't do as good as they wanted it. I personally agree why. I much prefer Duodecim. They kind of screwed the pooch not making the game like the original Dissidia games. But, you know, there's still a scene for it. Every now and then I kind of check in, re-download Dissidia NT, see what's going on, and I get in decent matches. I used to play Lightning, Tifa, and Tidus. Mostly Lightning and Tidus. I did play some Cloud, but those are also the same exact characters I play in Dissidia, Duodecim, so. I wanted to try out Locke. I have Locke. Like, I actually have every character except Xenos. I want to try him too. Guest characters? I don't know. It's not that kind of fighting game. I don't know if I'd want that. Oh no. Yo, I hate this monkey. Yellow monkey's terrible. He's so hard. The thing is, he's got like a trickiness to him and how you fight him. I don't even remember how to do it. I don't have cookies either. Yeah, like what? Sumo? Right, knock him out. Okay. That did damage. Okay. And then he does what? Okay. I think I know what to do. I think. Oh my god, are you kidding me? I have like half a cookie left. Oh no. Okay. I need any big guns here. Let's do that for now. Yeah. So I really don't know how this is gonna go. Oh, not well. Yeah, no, he's a pain. Every other monkey I'm pretty good at handling, but in this game and in 3, like, yellow monkey is pain in the ass. Red monkey, or yeah, red monkey's kind of tricky too, but Ape Escape 3 had a lot of really good bosses, so I think that may have changed my opinion on him. But yellow monkey, it's rough. It's something about like the way he like homes onto you, like he like predicts where you're gonna go. Yeah, see, like I try to preemptively change my trajectory, knowing that he was gonna predict it, and he predicted that I was gonna go the other way. Like he's really, his AI is a little too good. All right. All right. Cool. All right. He's yellow. We're getting there. We're getting there. What's this? Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Jesus. Oh. That was red. Got him. Okay, cool. Now, I can't capture him here. He gets away in the cutscene, I remember. So there's a whole other boss fight with him later, but... I hate this too, monkey. I hate him and Red. Red's boss fight's really cool, but it's hard in this game. Super Duper Spouse. I forgot about that show. Oh, this stage is kind of fun. I remember this one. Yeah. I'm always a sucker for a good snow stage, as you know. But, yeah, something about this one's kind of neat. I actually don't hate the music, too. I think there's monkeys in one of these. I'll find out. Excuse me. This might be the stage where I need my magnet too. Oh god, they both have guns. His shoots faster. Oh my god, he's gonna kill me. He killed me. How many lives do I have left? I can't have that many more. Yeah, okay. Last life. Despite all my coins, I haven't gotten any lives. So... this game's not very generous about that. It gives you a lot of cookies, though. It tries to be, in its own way. Ow. Where'd he go? That was a lot of work. Radar. Oh. How do I get up there? Can I skyflyer? Is there like a path? No, I guess I have to go. I think I have to go to the end of the stage and it loops around. What was the snow stage in Gex? I don't remember it. I don't know if I played Gex 3 either. I played the first one, like the old sprite pixel art game, and then I played Enter the Gecko. I don't remember if I ever played Gex 3. Was that on PlayStation, or was that on 64 only, or I don't remember. Is that the one where he was like a double agent spy or whatever? Like, yeah, I don't remember at all. Huh. Oh boy. Alright, there we go. I think there's a monkey hiding in these presents. I think. It's a slime and a toupee. Oh no, he's all about. Nope. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the monkey at the top of the tree. Yeah, it's like one pretending to be a star or something. I think. It's around here somewhere. Oh no, yeah, it's Santa. Okay. Enter the Gecko. He's trying to rescue his girlfriend. I don't remember that. Yeah. Yeah, no, I do remember that the spy stuff was in Gecko too. Yeah, Enter the Gecko had a bunch of like TV references and things, I remember. I didn't watch it. How bad was it? I heard it was terrible. I heard like Capcom had nothing to show, but I didn't watch it, so maybe later. Maybe I'll watch it like while I'm in bed tonight or something. Like, was it underwhelming because, like, no one liked what they showed? Or was it underwhelming because people had expectations, they just didn't show anything? Because I don't even know what's on Capcom's like docket. Wait, they announced DLC, but they didn't show anything? Because I heard that game didn't even do as hot as people liked. Like, people said it's fun, but compared to 7, it's not necessarily like as good. It's kind of a weaker sequel. Like, they made it easier and less scary, except for a few moments. Seven's cool, and it's cool. I love Resident Evil, but both games, you know, they don't really do it for me. I just looked into the lore and kind of spoiled it for myself. Not to say they're bad games outright. I mean, I did dabble with 7's VR, and it's awesome. It's awesome. But that's not like what Resident Evil is to me. You want to break the immersion real quick? Here, I've been playing, yeah, I'm still playing through 2, going through Leon's story now, and I'm just starting 3, and honestly, they're fantastic. I'm enjoying them a lot. But even those games feel a little bit detached from Resident Evil. 2 is fantastic. It's exactly what it needs to be. I love it. It's really fun. And 3 is doing it for me too. But they're very different games from their original counterparts. And 2 is one of my favorite PS1 games from like in that genre. You know, if Parasite Eve didn't exist, I would say that Resident Evil 2 is probably my favorite survival horror game. But Parasite Eve exists, so sorry, Shinji. Where am I going? Do I just have to go across there? Yeah, this takes me to that other monkey, doesn't it? Probably. Oh no, even better. This is like that slope. Yeah. This is actually kind of cool. I like this part. Snow Patrol. Oh, there's a monkey. There's another one. Oh, that's it. There's like 6 more monkeys, or I know where they are. I realize I got them all there. I have not played it in a long time, and I really want a Code Veronica remake. It's happening, I'm sure. I'm sure they're gonna. They've got what, 4 coming? The remaster or remake or whatever. Once they finish 4, I bet you'll do Code Veronica. I betcha. I'd love that though. I'd love to see that game. Veronica was really good. Monster Hunter, not surprised. Ace Attorney, not surprised. That game is actually really cool. It already came out in Japan. It's pretty good. Street Fighter 5, not surprised. They've got a new DLC coming, so they have to promote it somehow. Silent Hill. Yeah, No, you're right. They're good games. I wouldn't put them on top of Resident Evil 2 for me, but I'll put them up like above other Resident Evils. You know, Silent Hill's fantastic. I was a big fan of like Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2, Fatal Frame. I'm one of those weirdos that liked Homecoming. Most people don't, I know. I kind of liked it. But I'm also one of those weirdos who like sees all the flaws in Parasite Eve, or sorry, The Third Birthday, but still plays it like in a masochistic way, so I don't know. Yeah, it's... Silent Hill, I think, lost some of its luster with its later entries, and that didn't go well with me. But the first few entries were great. Yeah. I never played Extermination. I wasn't willing to do that kind of torture to myself. Extermination? Nope. I did play Downpour for like 2 seconds, and then I didn't play it ever again. Homecoming I actually beat though, and I think if I hadn't beaten the whole game, I wouldn't appreciate it. But I have an appreciation for it for what it is, because I actually like took the time, beat it, and got through it. It wasn't my best experience with Silent Hill, but it was actually, I liked it. You know, it wasn't that bad. I think it's a bad rap. See, like, listen to this fucking music, man. Listen to this. It's not bad music, but like, you come to a stage like this, and anyone who has played the Ape Escape games, I just need to say 2 words, Mount Amazing, and they'll know what I feel right now. Because it's basically a stage that feels and looks just like this in Ape Escape 3, and when we play it, we'll get there. You'll understand. And it has like, oh my god, the music in that stage is phenomenal. It's so good. You know, set pieces... You can keep a genre and still have completely different vibes and set pieces and atmospheres come from the music, you know? Without breaking genre. They didn't have to completely, like, dumb it down like they did in this game. And I do blame Ubisoft for that. But I also blame Sony for not sticking to their guns. But as you've maybe noticed, like I was saying, you know, the stages are getting a little more sprawly, more interesting. Like the set pieces are nice. This game actually is built pretty well and like has some cool stages to it. This stage is actually really pretty. Where'd he go? Oh, a box. We can box, bro. Let's do it. Arm. You're a fighter. For sure. Jeez. That was too much work. Hey, Beck. I sent her a text that said the stream would be gone and laid back. It's a typo. So, hate to break it to you, but we chose fun times instead. No gun times this time. What was Ubisoft making in 2008? I don't remember. 2008, that was the year I graduated. So The Wii was like just fresh out, maybe, right? So Ubisoft did make, they had like publishing rights to No More Heroes, right? Maybe a Rayman game, and like one Assassin's Creed. That was the first, yeah, that was the first Assassin's Creed, yeah. I see, I was like one Assassin's Creed game out, yeah. Yeah, they were in a weird space for sure, but I think they were still keeping up with like being reasonable. I think they just didn't know what they were doing with this IP. Yeah. Well, the first game they published, the European and the Western version. They didn't publish the original Japanese version, but when it was reestablished, they didn't bring the PAL version to the States. They brought the Japanese one because it had blood and everything. But Ubisoft did actually publish that one for them. And they didn't publish the subsequent ones after that because Grasshopper had enough money to do it themselves. Down here. I don't need you, fine. Where am I going? Wait, where am I going? Oh, dude. Absolutely same. And on Switch, no less. Yeah, I'm so excited for that third one. I don't know when or how I'm gonna play it. It's not like I have my own Switch. But, I will find a way. I was considering getting my own Switch. I might still. Up until now, I would actually use, like, the Westfall one to play my games. I didn't have that many Switch games, so it didn't matter. I might do that again, but maybe not, we'll see. I'm not so invested in like buying another console or anything. If anything, I'd buy PS5 maybe. Oh god, you like sniped me. Was that my last life? Oh, okay. I did get one. Yeah, I'm not really that invested in getting another system. This PS4 is doing me good. I could use yours, but that's under the condition that we have to play the first two games together. Because I need you to be able to understand my love for No More Heroes and how ridiculous and stupid and meta that game is. That is one of my favorite game series. It's crass, it's fun, it's really philosophical in like an odd way. You know, it's silly, it's horny, it's nerdy, it's odd. But it's a really good game overall. So yeah, if I'm gonna use your Switch for it, we have to play all three together. Come on down, buddy. Oh, is there like a ledge up there? Like, can I not? Alright, yeah, I'm gonna have to... I have to fly to him, I guess. Alright. Let's do this. No! He did it again. Gotcha.
No problem.
Yeah, it's janky, but it's absolutely usually considered and accepted. Sounds good. We got other things working on still anyway. Snap, and we gotta play Kingdom Hearts, which that's a whole endeavor. Who knows, like, how long that'll take, you know. We ain't gotta rush into more heroes. Those games are pretty easy to kind of digest and get through. Yeah, Takashi Miike. He's, was he the assassin? I forget. Or was he Ryuji? Oh, you beat it? When? I mean, I know you weren't playing it anymore. I remember you beat it. Oh, right! He's the one that gives you the Rose Nasty. Yeah. Yeah, I do remember now. I remember now, yeah. I forgot he was actually himself in the game. I keep forgetting that scene. It's such a good one. I shouldn't forget it. But yeah, no, you're right. Life. Give it to me. I need it. Oh, thank God. Wait, was there a monkey down there? Alright, 2 more. Another punchy boy. No, we aren't playing this game. Get over here. I really don't like the controls for the water net in this game. They're so weird. I'm really glad they changed them back. Alright. You said never want to see it again. Wait a minute. I went that way. That's the raft. I came up that way. And I went this way, right? Where did I miss monkeys? There's monkeys up there. How do I get up there? Yeah, it doesn't seem safe, right? Ah, okay. I have not gone this way yet. That was a safe bridge. Totally safe. Weird little bone pig. More monkeys and robots. just like did this? Nope, missed him. Oh god, the camera.
All done.
Cool. Yeah, I like how it's like this nice clear blue water in every other spot, and this one area just has like this like piss colored like orange juice looking water. And it happens to have a raft over it. Like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't swim in that. I am hurting for lives. So yeah, the trade-off for this game, unlike 2 and 3, is they get you to like capture so many monkeys the first time around rather than the second time. So that first playthrough is actually pretty long, but unlike how long it took for me to go back and get all the other monkeys in the consecutive stages afterwards, that goes so fast. Like, you get the monkeys in a matter of like 15-20 minutes if you're lucky. But it does take a while to get to the last stage prior to that. Yeah, this game's pacing's kind of off. I don't want to read all this right now. We'll read it later. Nice. Minigame. That one's kind of fun. It's like a taiko drum kind of game. Yes! That's what I wanted. Okay. Cool. Mission accomplished. I got a life. 9 monkey. Alright. What time is it? 11 o'clock. That's a 2-hour stream. I'll stream for maybe about another half hour. That'll allow me, I think, enough reasonable time to get far enough in this game to be able to beat the next game next stream. And if necessary, I'll try and beat it earlier, or like start the stream earlier, like 7 or something, if I can. Like I said, I won't be streaming next week, but we are streaming tomorrow from Westfall. So 4 PM, tune in for some puzzles and some Nintendo Direct goodness. Though, I know the Direct is like 12 o'clock or 2 or something, I don't know. So we'll be like streaming it after it's actually gone. Such is the fate of a working man. It's like... like, I love some of the designs of these characters. Like, it's a jellyfish with a battery on his head. That's like really cute. I like that. Like, there's some weird designs, but there's also some really good ones too. Like, I get where they're going with it. I almost don't want to catch them, but I gotta. No? Really, bro? Oh. Yeah, I know what you want. Watch this. This gadget is weird. You throw the banana, and it sticks there, and you spin it around remotely, and then they come and try to eat the banana, and you catch them. I never played Shinobi 3. I played the first two. I played like the crazy PS2 remake where his life bar is his scarf or whatever. But I never played the third one. Was it good? Oh, classic UFO monkey. First time we're seeing one, actually. Got it. Molder. The old banana boomerang. It's got its own uses too. Yeah, it's not bad. There's a life down there. I kinda need that. Anything else? Or are we good? No, we're good, right? Yeah. Come on out. Attaboy. Where'd you go? I mean, it's Ape Escape. It's not out of their ballpark. Of course they would. I mean, he was in a UFO, you know. I think there is actually a monkey named Scully too. I think there is, or something like that. Some variation of it. I don't know if it's on the stage, but I do believe there is one. Once we go through like the whole Monkeypedia, and you see all of the different monkeys we caught, once you've caught all three games worth, the references just don't stop, man. It's non-stop. Where are we going next? Oh wow, this is cleared out. All right. Sorry, buddy. Caught you with your pants down. Quiz shot. No, I think it is actually Scully. I'm pretty sure it's just Skelly. I don't think they went too deep with it. They tried to make it obvious.
All done.
Speed up.
Banana?
Since you were talking to me earlier, Beck, and I was telling you I was drawing. Just this is for you. I was doing a boob challenge. See that? I'm not sure if you can see it on screen. Sorry, I look at my camera here. Yeah, it's showing like different variations of like boobage. Sorry. It's like side boob, under boob, inner side boob, boob windows. Oh man. Monkey Pink, the pop star. I actually really like Monkey Pink's stages. This one and the one in Ape Escape 3. Oh no. Shoot. I mean, on a couple of them, yeah. I try to do a little shading and whatnot, but it's mostly just sketches. Something out of a bikini model and spanking himself. Well, that was a reference to Metal Gear, yeah. I'm glad that you remember Metal Gear. I had a whole conversation about Metal Gear last stream, so we will absolutely be playing that when we get to Ape Escape 3. Don't worry. As far as I'm concerned, that's part of the actual like game proper. So we'll beat Metal Gear, and then we will like probably fight Spectre at the very end right after that. Because you can't play Ape Escape 3 and not play Metal Gear Solid. It's too good. Oh my god. Oh, gotcha. Alright. Uh-oh. Alright, that's one hit. Oh. Come on. Oh man, I don't have the cookies for this. I don't have the cookies. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? I died right when I beat her. Oh, that sucks. Seconds from catching her. Oh man. Now I gotta deal with this. Alright, there we go. Alright. Escape the ape that's in you. I don't remember this one. Is this part of the hard mode stuff? Like she has more variations? It's like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, when you play as Spike, it counts as hard mode for this game. So everything's on like max difficulty. But I don't really think there's much of a difficulty spike. Like I've never seen the significant change. But this doesn't seem that familiar. Like this like stuff she's throwing at me is new. Got her. Yeah, one more should do it. So I know of the game. I have not played it purely out of like not buying the game and not really investing the time and checking it out. Because I know Joey actually did some voice acting for it. So I went to check it out and yeah, you can hear his voice because I like his voice acting work. I think he does a good job. So I definitely want to check out and see like what the game was about. The premise seemed interesting and the visuals are really cool, but I haven't played it yet. No. Yeah, No Straight Roads is on my radar though. I don't know when I'll get to it. Probably when it drops in price or when it's free on PSN or something. I don't know. Yeah, it was, Yoon was telling me about it when it first came out. And he was the one saying Joey was, had a role in it. That's one of like the main characters or something. And actually, I think Sean Chiplock is in that game too. Sean Chiplock being one of our voice actors for DICE. I think he actually did some work on that game as well. Okay, I think we're starting to get towards the end here. There's one more monkey. There's the white monkey. And then Spectre, obviously. Yeah, I think we're starting to get to the end of this journey here. The fact they're asking for 17 monkeys is kind of a lot, so it must be. Or maybe I should just catch all of them. And that counts as why this game is asking for 17 monkeys. Because there's literally just 7 right there. I'm gonna make this easy for myself. Yeah, that was one thing that like you could see they were trying to experiment with a little, but they didn't really like go all the way in this game, like the chain monkey grabbing, because in Ape Escape 1, as you've seen me do during the playthrough, you can spin your net once you capture one monkey and capture other monkeys in the process, but in this one you kind of like have to have them in the same proximity of each other. and swing it in like the right direction, and maybe you'll catch 2 or 3 if they're close enough. In Ape Escape 3, you can actually sort of like chain catch, like boom, boom, boom. It's actually really cool. And there's a few good places to like do it and pull it off in game. Wow, that was 8 monkeys already. I don't even think that was all the ones that were in this room. Maybe. I don't think so. Yeah, definitely do that. I mean, yeah, I know your voice. I've heard you, perform before. But yeah, by all means, I mean, Lord knows there's plenty of roles that we could fill, and if you're interested in doing like a bit role or as an extra or something, I'd be happy to, check you out and see if we can get you on something. We're not currently doing a voice recording, but we will be at some point soon, Guess that's it. My old friend. Oh, he jumped. Punk. I came up here for you. Yeah, send me what we got. Hmm? You have my email. Oh no. Oh. Almost got me. He's just dancing. He's not even like actually working out. He's just dancing up here. Five more. You know, I did say this was a fun playthrough, but there's a lot of guns in this game. Way more than the first one. We are definitely having gun times. Oh man. Also, that's another improvement this game had. Like, the RC car controls way better. Still a little slippery, but I think that's just to keep the difficulty a little higher. But it controls way better than it did in the first game. Good show. 3 more to go. Actually, before I leave this room. There's a switch. Oh, it's the guy that ran away. Okay, I'll get him next time. Actually, no. Maybe I should get him now. That's just the exit back to the front. Your USP? Oh. I mean, I'm not trying to kill the monkeys. I just want to catch them. They're trying to kill me, but I'm just trying to catch them, man. I don't know if it's all, you know, that big of a deal. It may not be necessary. Aha. That's, yeah, obviously I didn't need it in the end, but it's interesting. Oh, if he's running that way, I got him. Dead end. Two more. Where are we going? Yeah, maybe I'll cut the stream. I think when I get a monkey white. Yeah, because I think that'll be a good space between monkey white, the end of the game, and then getting all the remaining monkeys. Could be one stream. That's kind of similar to what I did with Ape Escape 1, where I stopped the game around like just before Monkey Madness, so I had to clear that whole stage and then get the rest of the monkeys. It's kind of similar. Okay. I guess I got them all? Huh. Thought there was one more in here. At least one more. Guess not. Oops. Drove a little too far. Yeah. All right. We are going to pull this off one way or another. I just don't remember how. There's something over there. That's the spinning wheel, right? Yeah, there's a monkey in there. Wait, did I not go inside here yet? Oh, duh. I thought I went in here. Probably. Though, again, we had mentioned this. I'd prefer like a remake, so like similar gadgets and stuff. Just like a newer look or a newer sheen to it. But yeah, no, I don't necessarily think a drone would be out of the question. Cool. I'd love if they did something like the Insane Trilogy or like the Spyro Trilogy, where they had 1, 2, and 3, and just redid all the models for like one game, and they kept it consistent for 3 and like the best possible look. Like say like this version of Spike, right? But have him like cleaned up visually and like looking really good, and then just have it for all 3 games. And then just everything else, like again, these games hold up pretty well. They wouldn't need that much of like a graphical facelift. The first one's the one that even needs it, really. If they can get them all looking like decent, like 3, no problem. And you'll notice, because like Ape Escape 1 I played on the PS3. This one I'm playing on a PS4. You're gonna look at Ape Escape 3 on the original hardware. I'll be playing it on the PS2. And to see just the difference between this game and that game is gonna be really interesting.
For it.
So I would argue, aside from the fact this game's running like 60 frames, the difference is like completely night and day. Because you can still see anti-aliasing in this game. It's not strong, but you can see it. But like the actual polygon count, like his hair looks like corkscrewy and jaggy. Oh, that's those like PS2s right there. That's so funny.
Here
I should
you
say.
can save and load anytime you want to have a.
That's my Jimmy file. That's my original Spikes file. I'm gonna replace that one. Yeah. And we'll overwrite that one. Because I only got 1% on it, as you saw. Rogue Galaxy, how is it? You know, AC1 is perfect. It's a perfect game. It really is. Yeah, how is Rogue Galaxy? I've heard good things. Not being an Xbox guy, like, it's not a game I played, but I heard it was really fun.
Here you can practice using that you found. You'll be an expert monkey.
Alright. So, based on the count here, yeah, I'm gonna have to do like maybe 2 more stages. This one's really long. Yeah, this stage is actually really long. Probably one of the longest ones in the game. So, I'll try and speed through this. It's not even that hard. It's just there's a lot of space in between monkeys. So you gotta like get through the stage to really finish it. Another pretty stage though. Very cool. Oops. That was a mistake. Yeah, like I know about the game, but I just never played it. Oh, it's a PS2 game? Oh, I thought it was only on Xbox. Huh. Yeah, I never played it, so... If you're speaking for it, though, I'm willing to give it a shot. Alright. Come on out, buddy. Uh-oh. Our first green monkey. And like that, I had no more cookies. Notorious for taking my cookies away. That's because Steve Bloom was in everything from back then. TV, games, it didn't matter. Voice of an era. And his brother's no better. His brother produces like every movie out there. Real Harvey Weinstein, without all the, you know, the rapiness. Jason Blum's a great guy, though. He actually has supported us in the past. Yeah, he's worked with us. Me and Sean, and even Joanne, when she was working with Sean. You know, Jason's been a great help. So, definitely am thankful for his support with the studio. But yeah, it's funny, like, you see his name on everything these days. Works a lot with, was it Monkey's Paw, and, that group that, Bad Robot, I think it was. Like, a lot of those groups that, like, make B films, that turn out to be really good. Yeah, he's a pretty known producer over there for that. Yeah, I've actually never met Steve. We all know him, you know. Right. Right, exactly. All blockbusters are a B movie, or is B movies with a budget. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess Jason's got the money to spare. Jason Blum is that guy with the budget. But again, really nice guy. Yeah, I've met him a couple times now. He also works with a lot of voice actors we know, so... Oh shoot, I didn't know it was gonna hurt me. Yeah, Steve I've never met. I've actually had many opportunities to meet him. Never taken them. Never had a reason, admittedly. But I've heard only nice things. I've heard he's a great guy. You know? But I've never actually gotten the chance to meet him myself. Another mech. Alright, yeah. It's a bull. I want him to run to the wall. Come on. Come at me. Come at me, bro. Oh, he hit me. Shit. I need to get his butt to light up. That's the trick. There we go. Ideally without getting hit, but clearly I'm not very good at that. Yeah, see? I still have 9 more monkeys to go. Jeez. That was a good haul right there. Brave Fencer Musashi, wow. Yeah, he was in that game, wasn't he? That was a classic. I love Brave Fencer Musashi. Another one I might stream someday. Though I don't have a copy of it anymore. I used to. Not an original copy. That was actually I forget if it was on a it wasn't on a collection, but it was like, I think it was a burn disc or something. But yeah, I don't think I have it anymore. There's a mermaid in there. How do I... There's definitely a trick. And I don't remember what it is. Oh wait, is this the magnet stage? Might be magnets. No, I think it'd be glowy if it was magnets. Oh yeah, you have a fate demo. What to do? I do not remember how to get this monkey. Oh wait. There's a hole. You want to complete your PS1 collection. It's a tall order. Nice. Okay. 4 more monkeys, let's go. I'm actually making pretty good time. Like, this is a long stage, and I'm actually getting through it pretty smooth. Nice. Thank you, John. Okay, where am I going now? Ow. Do I want to go in there yet? Let's see. Yep. Ah, submarine. Fun. It's funny because it controls the same way as the water net, but it's nowhere near as like clunky or confusing. Probably because the camera makes more sense. There. Oh, jeez. That went better than I thought it would. Uh-oh. Not looking great. One more. It's gonna be a pain in the ass though, coming back here, because I have to go through this whole stage to get every monkey in here that I'm about to miss. Might as well get this hard one first. I think there's like a lot of blue ones in here. Come on. No. Alright. A good swing, Spike. There we go. Fifth time's the charm.
For it.
Yeah, I think it's this stage and then Monkey White. I think. I don't think there's another stage after this. Or maybe that's wishful thinking. Maybe I just hope that's the case. I don't know. Let's find out.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going a little over. I don't mind it being a 3-hour stream. I don't want it to be more than that. Yeah, I got work tomorrow. I ain't trying to be up that late. Sorry, 11:47. Oh my god. Really? I need the RC car for that door. I'll do that in a sec. Oh man. Alright, there you go. Stew! Making chocolate pudding. But stew? It's 4 in the morning. Why are you making chocolate pudding? Because I've lost control of my life. I guess that's it. Okay. Yeah. Whoa. I just got here. It's falling apart. All right. Wow. Wow. Alright. I didn't think you hit me. Oh, Jesus. Sure is a lot of boulders. Leave a cookie, take a cookie. Alright. I'll take it. I could use 2 cookies actually. I'll take that one too. Stew is like the best part of Rugrats. The whole like dynamic of the Pickles family, specifically Stew and like his relationship to his dad and his brother, it's just it's so ridiculous. I love it. His endless struggle to put Pickles' toys on the map. And just Drew's like constant struggle to try and hold on to his humanity while his wife wrings his life by the balls. Oh. Oh. Saw that coming. My favorite inside joke from Rugrats is, oh my god, really? Wow. I mean, I got the monkey, but whatever. My favorite inside joke from Rugrats is, the fact that, Angelica's mom's name is Charlotte, like Charlotte Pickles, and her assistant's name is Jonathan, and it keeps, like, she keeps screaming for Jonathan. and every time Jonathan is either on screen or on the phone, he's screaming for Charlotte. And how that's just like a Castlevania reference. Like just unapologetically just a very strong Castlevania reference just in that show. Yeah, I heard they made like a 3D show or something. The animation looks alright, but I haven't watched any of it, and I'm not sure, you know, if it's like just a special or if it's like an actual like new show or what. I don't know. I remember that had that show All Grown Up, and it was I remember actually, for as uncanny as it was, it actually wasn't terrible. It was odd because it was very like teen show for what Rugrats was, but I do remember it being like actually a decent show because it was around the same time as like As Told by Ginger, so it was like kind of actually following that same story archetype. You punk! You almost got me in that.
No problem.
Oh, it's Paramount Plus exclusive? I'm kidding, Paramount Plus. Get out of here. I'll find a way to watch it. And it won't be on Paramount Plus, I'll tell you that. The Harley Quinn show is fantastic. That show is really good. I love that show. It's so funny. Yeah, I don't blame you. The humor in that's like really good. I wasn't sure like how they were gonna go with it in terms of like the story arcs, but no, they did it perfectly. I actually really enjoyed that show. What was weird about it? I mean, a renewal for that show is fantastic. Really glad to hear that. But what was weird about that announcement? I didn't see it, so I don't know. I want people to understand, when I say blackout week, I mean it. Like, mostly, like, I blacked out to media, to calls, to basically anything. Like, if I'm not working, it's not work related, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, that part of my life is just not not worth even mentioning. It's just a blip on the map. Everything I was doing is work related at that point, and I can't speak to what the rest of the world was up to. I'm lucky enough to maybe even like watch a TV show or something. You know, sometimes like when the day's over, I'm too tired to do anything, so I might just go to bed. And other times, like if I've got free time to do anything in the middle of the day, I'm probably drawing or something. The standards and practices regarding the relationship between two characters got leaked. They showed guidelines for when, how, and often Batman and Cat. Oh, yeah, no, I I recently actually read something on Twitter, like just a couple hours ago. They were saying like they may have to pull an episode or something, or like rewrite guidelines like that. I didn't know that was the exact context, but I heard it was like pretty explicit. So. I didn't realize that was the announcement, though. I mean, I guess if that information's leaking, like, obviously it would only matter if there's another show coming, right? So I guess that makes sense. But it's actually really funny. Oh my god, you didn't even... That was only on me, though. Yeah, I mean, I hit the button, or I thought I hit the button, but it wasn't quite hard enough. Nice. That's like half of that stage. Another one I'm gonna have to come back and like actually do in full.
Very good.
Oh, really? Huh. Okay. There's so many different versions of her, like, I don't know. I'm not partial. Yeah, okay, cool, it is Monkey White. I'm not partial to any particular Catwoman. I think they're all pretty interesting, because they kind of follow the same character arc, right? But if I had to pick one, it'd probably be like the, not the Bruce Timm one, but like the, the one that they have in, one second, I gotta fight Jimmy here. I'm a little distracted. Robo Jimmy here is, got him. Come on, old man. Bring it. Alright. I haven't fought Monkey Red yet. That's true. Is that the one? Like, I remember the character design. I'm trying to remember what show it was. Yeah, it might have been the Batman. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's the one. I like the design a lot in that one. There's a couple designs I actually really like in that show. I like Harley Quinn in that show too. Poison Ivy's pretty cool. I actually kind of even like Batman's design in that show. Yeah, it had like well, because it was it was Man of Action, and what's his face? I forget the guy's name. The guy that did Teen Titans and Ben 10 and all that. I forget his name. I never saw the design for Scarecrow. But there's some really cool designs for Scarecrow in other shows that I liked a lot, so I doubt it'd hit it. Is he sky flying? Oh god. Gotcha. Come on, dude. You're almost done. Not Troy McDuffie, no. Different guy. Beck. We're talking about Batman designs. And the Harley Quinn show, how good they are in that. Come on, this is it. Get back here. Ah, got him. Nice. Scarecrow's amazing. There's so many good designs for him too. The one that they use in the New Adventures is probably my favorite. I like that one a lot. Yeah, the one where he has like the noose necktie. I mean, I liked him in the Batman and Robin, so yeah, no, fantastic job. Yeah, Jeffrey Combs did a great job. I mean, that whole voice cast is phenomenal. Okay, yeah, that was Monkey White. I think I'm gonna call it all night there. It's 12:04. I have to get Monkey Red, and then I have to go get Spectre. So there's not that many stages left. I can definitely finish the rest of this game next stream. So yeah, let's call it a wrap there. Oops. I didn't do that. Yeah. No stream next week. Tomorrow, we are going to be streaming Nintendo Direct, and we're going to be streaming Puzzle Palace right after. We have a really cool first episode. We're doing some cool challenges with some retro games. So, yeah, that should be really fun. Well, I say retro games, but they'll be like, you know... Out of habit, I just captured that monkey. Oh my god. I gotta quit. What am I doing? Take me back. Oh, that was funny. Yeah, we're gonna finish up this game, maybe in 2 weeks. Next week, which would be the... Was that the 20th? I think that Monday's the 20th. That should be when we stream next. And we'll finish up this game. We'll finish Ape Escape 2. And then that following Monday, we will probably be playing Ape Escape 3. And continue the journey. Yeah, tomorrow, 4 p.m. EST, we're going to be streaming Puzzle Palace. And there will be this as well as various other videos I've had kind of in the works, uploading throughout the weeks. So keep an eye on that on YouTube, and I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Take it easy.